first day in pads. I thought we had two really good practices in shorts, but you don't play football in shorts. I think today, first day in pads was, there were some good things. Not as many as I hoped to see, but we got something to build on, and we look forward to getting it done.
You look at your guys from right now, and just today, from where it was a year ago when you first got here and you sized up what you had. How much growth have you seen in your unit?
I think a lot. I think they understand what we're doing, and certainly you look for the biggest improvement that second year. They've been in the system now. They understand it. Some of them hadn't because of injuries, but you look for that biggest improvement. I think we're a bigger, I think a more physical football team right now at this point than we were a year ago, and we're more mature in terms of understanding what to do. We're practicing against a different offense. We got to make a few adjustments there, but that's good for us. That's good for us defensively. I don't think we'll end up seeing anything, after we get through spring practice that we hadn't already saw. And it's kind of neat working against this offense. It's kind of impressive some of the things that they're doing right now.
Chief, how much of your focus and attention right now is on run defense, and how much do you think David Turner's going to help with that?
Well, I think a lot. Obviously, not just David, but Terry Price has done a tremendous job here. And I think really and truly, when you evaluate last year where we were until this year, to be quite honest with you, the biggest job stands with me. We got to get better linebacker play. We gave up too many big plays. A lot of that was because we misfit a lot of the run game, and that had to do with linebackers. I thought we were good enough up front. I think we're going to be better this year. That's going to help some, but we got to get the most growth and the most improvement from that linebacker core.
From a defensive tackle standpoint, how much for some of the younger guys like Daylon or Coben, how much maturity and growth have you seen from them both physically and just in terms of their hands?
Well, right now you hate to single anyone out, but Kingsley, right now, first day in pads, he was the most impressive guy out there. I'm telling you, he's got a chance. And of course, Dalen Mack's going to be a really good football player. He's got to keep, working to be able to play with the level of intensity that it's going to take to win in the SEC. And he can do that, and he will do it. But I think we got tackles that are going to be good enough to win with. And certainly, we lost two good players from that position last year. Our numbers are not real good. They're not bad. But the ones we got, I think we'll see improvement there.
Overall, your defense, you mentioned the players are further ahead. Is that going to mean more depth overall everywhere, or just going to be more quality depth?
Well, there's that opportunity. There's that opportunity, and again, it's always a work in progress. We gotta continue to grow. We got to continue to understand the system, and that's coaching. That's coaching, and they got to continue to give great effort, and I think thus far, the effort's been really good. It can go to another level, and we expect to push it to that level, as well as some things that we got to do, from a coaching standpoint.
Where do you go? Two cornerbacks, you go to the NFL Combine. Where do you at cornerback right now?
Well, I think we're going to be young there, but we got a young man that is transferred in that's still trying to learn this system, and then we had some talent behind those two corners last year. I think we will not fall off here at all, and probably end up having a little more depth there than we did last year.
What are you seeing from Otaro Laka early?
Well, he's a talented guy, and he's big, he's strong, but he's learning. Understand, I mentioned that, some of the people have been through this system for 4 years. He had no spring practice last year, had an early injury, and before we got in pads, and then the next injury, sidelined. But he is a talented young man, and he's very smart. He understands the system. He's a lot farther along than some of the guys were that played in it, to be honest with you. So we got to get him ready to play. We got to be smart with him, but certainly I think he's going to make that linebacker group better. There's no question about that.
From a leadership standpoint, have there been some guys that have come to grasp that role? Obviously, I know you lost some 4-year starters off this last
Well, leadership grows, and it's hard to point to it right now, but we've had some guys that have been leading this unit all along. In the weight room, what they've done in the off season, it's a year-round thing. It's not what you do just when you walk on the field. We expect them to be in the right places, do the right things, and leadership starts with number one, doing all the right things yourself and being where you're supposed to be, and then when you hold yourself accountable, then you're going to have a reason to help hold someone else accountable that may need a little help. And we got a bunch of good young men, and I say knock on wood, there hadn't been a lot going on that shouldn't be. And, that's always pleasing. And as long as we keep it in that direction, and we as coaches, we have to hold them accountable as well, but they got to hold each other accountable. It's hard when you're not with them 24/7. But I think they've done a good job of managing that, and that's where your leadership is just as important there as it is out on the football field.
First couple days with Coach Turner, what's he bring to the table? I guess what did you know about him before he got
Well, yeah, he's been a proven SEC coach. I mean, he's done it at a high level, and and I say this because it's the truth. We were, I say fortunate. We got a great program here. We got great possibility here. So there was a lot of reasons to attract him here. Obviously he could have stayed where he was. Obviously he had other options as well. It wasn't just, Texas A&M that was seeking him. There were other people. And, he's a guy that, like I said, for many years, 14, 15 years in the SEC, he's proven himself as a very, very, very quality coach. And we're excited about it. And let me tell you this. When you start looking at that match, that's going to, make everything fit in our room, you look for quality people, and he is a quality man. As good a coach as he is, he's even a better man. And that's the kind of people you want coaching your football team. And I couldn't be any more pleased, not with just Coach Turner, but the quality of our staff. It's a lot of good men that if I had kids of my own, I wouldn't mind them leading them.
Seems like you could say that for the other side of the ball as well.
Well,
The job someone's done of attracting good coaches.
Yeah, well, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. There's a difference already in our offensive line. I mean, it's we're going to be challenged, and that's good. We need to be. That's going to make us all better. The competition's going to make us better.
couple more?
Chief, speaking of accountability, Myles Garrett said that he kind of did feel like he had a sophomore slump. Kind of, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, as long as he doesn't have another slump, I think it's great. And I thought Myles played really, really outstanding football for us. And the one thing that you can count on him is he's going to be there, play in and play out. Personally, I'm okay with him feeling that way, but I'm not saying that he had a slump. I thought he played some outstanding football for us last year.
Of that younger group of linebackers that came in last year, if you played, if you didn't, any of those guys started slowing down a little bit? I know you guys will probably depend on them a little bit in the depth chart.
Well, we got to. I mean, that's who we got, and you look at it. Josh Walker, even though he was here the year before, he's a guy that we're going to count on. Claude George is a guy that we're going to count on, and those guys can help make a difference. In a hurry. Landis Durham, I'm pleased with the progress he's made. He's got a big body and he moves around well, and we're going to let it sort itself out on the field. If you ask me if we had any starters, we got guys that go out there with the first unit, but there's competition. And when we they create that competition, and, it's time for the cream to rise to the top. But, there's several young guys that, I feel like can help us.